Okay, good evening, guys. Today we'll be learning one of the most important topic, and the topic is machine learning. For this machine learning topic, the language I'll be using is Python, because Python is a language which helps to train the machines, do the analysis, do the prediction, and we'll see like how we can use Python, as well as we'll understand what machine learning is here. So what is our agenda for today's session? Today, we'll understand what is machine learning first. What are the applications are there for machine learning? Where the machine learning is used? Why machine learning? What is the machine learning life cycle? So let me give the quick idea about machine learning here. The prerequisite for machine learning is that you should have a basic knowledge about Python, should know something about the mathematics or the statistics, and having that skill, you can jump start on the machine learning. So let me start and tell you like what machine learning is. Machine learning, I will say, is something where you can imagine like a algorithm or some statistical model by which you can predict something. But how exactly machine learn? It learns based on some historical data. So it is all based on what input data you give it, that we call as the training data. And based on that training data or based on that input data, we are trying to train the machine here and say, predict something. Now, in this case, prediction is all about the type of value which you are predicting, like maybe the continuous variable or maybe a discrete variable here or categorical variable. Now, what is this continuous variable means here? Continuous variable means something which is changing, like for example, price. You are predicting the price of certain items. Now, machine, you are given some input data here and asking the machine, okay, predict the price of certain product. But how you can ask the machine to predict for certain products? So it is based on the input data now. For instance, you are given the input data as a pizza data. Let's say you have a Domino's Pizza center, and the Domino's Pizza is having the historical data about all the pizza there. Now, what is the kind of input data you are given is something like where you have the input data where the pizza diameter is known to us. We know the pizza, let's say the price, and for and the location, and the kind of other factors or other variables, maybe the toppings and some other factors which are there, which decide the price of the pizza. Now, the price of the pizza is, you can think like a variable which is a dependent variable. Whereas, if you look at the other variable like the diameter or maybe the toppings or some other factors which are there which determine the price here, some other variable, maybe the location of the particular pizza center or the name of the pizza center, these all factors will be considered as a independent variable. Now, the example which I'm talking about is a supervised machine learning model. Now, in the supervised machine learning model, you are giving the input data where label data is given. And with the help of the label data, machine is giving you certain prediction now. Now, how the prediction happens is simple calculation. Now, you can also predict something like just like how the human predict the cost. So if I know the pizza price, let's say, okay, for the let's say 8-inch pizza, the price is something like maybe you can say 100 rupees. For let's say 12-inch pizza, it is like 120 rupees. For 13-inch pizza, something like, let's say 150 rupees. Now, this pricing is telling you like, okay, this is the way the pricing is. So this is the diameter, and based on the diameter, the pricing is changing. Now, what is most important in this case, that the important variable which you are using is a diameter of the pizza. Now, this is what we say correlation. Now, the diameter of the pizza is considered as a most important variable now, because this variable we call the independent variable is deciding the price, right? So the the statistics is saying, okay, if the diameter is increasing, the price is also increasing. If the diameter is decreasing, price is decreasing. This is just one of the factor which we are identifying in this case. These variables, which are called dependent and independent variable. Now, which is a target variable in this case? The variable which is a dependent variable is a target variable, and the variable which is independent variable, they are the variable as an input variable. Now here we are talking about the input variable. We are talking about that kind of input data you are giving to the machine. Based on that, the algorithm. Now here, which type of algorithm will come? There are varieties of algorithms here now. Now that determine, okay, if this is the input data which is having the continuous value, it's a numerical data, and based on this numerical data, if you are deciding the some values here, the kind of algorithm will come as a linear regression now. Because in this case, linear regression means your value is changing. So we have a graph which is a linear graph now, where we have a x parameter, we have a x and y axis now. In this case, x, you can imagine like the x axis, which is an independent variable now. So the diameter or the inches of the pizza here, you have a 5-inch, 10-inch, whatever the pizza, that may come as a x-axis because that's an independent variable. Whereas you can imagine like a y-axis as the price of the pizza. Now, like as the diameter is increasing, the price of the pizza increasing. So this is the way the relationship between these two variables we can understand. And the machine, we are just training with this kind of data now. So what happened now if you ask the machine, okay, if it is something like the data which is not there, like a 15-inch pizza you're trying to take out, and you want to find out what should be the pizza price for the 15-inch now. Now this is because you have given the input here for the all other pizza prices. Like let's say you already given the input for the 10-inch pizza, 8-inch pizza, 5-inch pizza. So this information is already given to the machine now. You have already given the complete information. That's what we call the input data. So that's a training data set. And as we have given the training data set, machine is doing certain statistical calculations. There's an algorithm for that. And this calculation is giving you the prediction here. So I hope you understood like what is machine learning here. So machine learning is all based on the input data you're giving, and it uses the various algorithm. I have just say like the one of the example as a linear regression algorithm, or you may have the other regression where you need to have classification. Algorithm could be related to classification. Now, when you say classification, it means that you are classifying the data. What classification of data means here? When you say classification means you may have a deciding factor in this case. For example, there are images like a fruits images. Now, you have given the machine the input data as a fruits, like you have given the input data about the images like the apple images, you have a banana image, you have a, let's say, grape image or some other images. Now, fruit data is given as an input data now. This fruit data, input data, based on that, you are training the machine if the shape of this is, the shape is a most important factor in this case. How is the shape of the particular fruits now? Is that a round, or we can say, or the circle, or is that like something which is having the big length? What is the length of that fruits now? Or the color? Now this determine, like you have the color, like what is the color of that particular fruit now? What is the diameter? What is, or you can say the size of the particular fruits now. Now here you want the machine to predict whether the fruit is of the type banana or is it of the type apple. What is the type it is? So this type of problem we call as a classification related problem. That comes under the logistic regression or classification machine related, where we have algorithm like SVM algorithm is there. We have KNN algorithms and many more algorithms available for the classification purpose only. So mostly you will see the continuous variable or classification related problems available in the machine learning. Although we have to check the various algorithm for the performance improvement, that which particular model or the algorithm is giving you more accurate values or more accurate prediction in this case. Who is predicting more fast? And again, we have to check like who is fast now, which algorithm is a fast, which algorithm is slow in this case. So that all thing we have to do in the case of machine learning. So making prediction based on the historical data, that is what we say machine learning. But this is all happening based on the type of input data, what you are having. It is also like which algorithm you are using. So algorithms we can say as a machine learning. See, the machine learning is not the new terminology. It has not come recently. It is there from long time. It has been introduced in by the author Samuel in the 1959 itself, and he says that that machine which automatically run from data. So now you are given the data, and machine is learning whatever the input are giving. Machine is learning, and based on that, the machine is getting the experience now. Like the human is getting the experience. Just imagine like a human now. You get the experience about the data. You come to know of the information. That information is an experience now. This experience tell you like the decision. Your decision is based on the experience. The same way the machine is giving you decision. Machine is giving some prediction. It is all happening because of some experience data. The data is a call as an experience in this case. We call the training data here. So you are predicting something being explicitly programmed with the help of training data now. Machine learning algorithm is deciding, okay, which is kind of problem here, and based on that type of problem, the algorithm is used now. I will not be using all the algorithm for all the types of problems. So you have to check what is the type of problem it is. Is it going to be a prediction related problem, or is it going to be a classification related problem? Is it going to be a cluster related problem? The third type of problem could be a cluster related problem, where you are deciding the target area, like you are like having you don't have, it's called an unsupervised machine learning problem. If the problem is something which is related to unsupervised machine learning problem, there you may require to form the cluster. So that is a kind of problem if you want to solve. Yes, you have to go for the kind of algorithm called k-means cluster algorithm now. Now that cluster algorithm will tell you, okay, these are the, this is the population of data now. In this population of data, some data is deciding the, let's say it's a human population. So maybe you can categorize that human population into the based on the age factor, right? You may have the age factor as one of the factor which decide the type of population, whether you have the age group of, we can say the less than 18. We have age group for the for children, and we have age group related to like more than 18 to 25 for the adult, 20, or maybe you can say 18 to 30, and then after that you have 30 above 30 to let's say 60. So that way you are deciding the cluster here. The cluster is formed based on some of the factor now. So now this is there's a type of problem the machine learning helps you to solve now. You can solve the types of problem which are like, we can say the cluster related problem, or you may have the problem which are related to prediction related problem. You may solve the problem which are related to classification related problem. So machine learning is helping you. Machine learning is just to help the human here. Okay, so let us understand how machine learning helps now. There are various features of machine learning available. Machine learning uses the data to detect the various patterns in a given data set, learn from the past data, and improve automatically. Now, the example, like if you look at the self-driving car, nowadays Tesla is the most famous self-driving car. It's one of the great applications available in the automobile industry. Like that, many more companies, they are actually coming up with the in automobile industry itself, I will say, which are using the machine learning, or you can say artificial intelligence, which is the, again, let me like here, artificial intelligence and machine learning. There is some difference. What is the difference? That machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Here, when you talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about like how the machine behave like a human. If the machine is behave or mimic like a human, that comes as a artificial intelligence. But when the problem is like you're just solving a problem which are just for prediction or classification, those comes under the machine learning. So that is also subset of the AI only. What is the need of this machine learning? I will say this is something where every human being, or every not only human being, I'm talking about all the types of problem which you want to solve right now. The kind of industry we are running right now, in each industry you will see that there are certain problems to be solved now. Whichever the industry you take, whether it is the education industry, whether you take you can say the healthcare industry, you take any industry, there are some problem which in which the humans are finding is really tough to solve. Now those kind of problem here, because human has certain limitation, like for example, if I ask the human being to read the gigabytes of data and process it quickly, I don't think the human will able to do that quickly, right? So human is having certain limitation, and as a result, we need a machine to process, because machine has a computing power. Machine has a power of computing, processing. With the help of that, machine can solve problem quickly. So where the human may takes time for the maybe a year time, machine can do that in a few seconds, and that's why we are learning the machine learning. So understand that machine learning is a need to solve the problem quickly, and that's why we need to know, like, okay, how this machine I can use it. As a programmer, as a data scientist, what you should be doing is you should be just focusing on solving the problem. You can just think about how I can use the particular machine learning algorithm so that my problem can be solved. Now every industry, let us take the industry related to education industry. Now you have a students data available in education industry. Now you need to find out how many students have paid the fees and how many students are likely to be paying the fees now in the institution. That is one of the thing which you can do. Second thing is, you may have the problem like the salary related problem. So you have a data related to salary here. You want to calculate the salary for the human resource. What I know, which are the factor which decide the salary of the human resource who are working in the organization. So salary factors depends on various. We have to check, is that experience is an important factor? If yes, take that as one of the independent and most important variable in that case. So you're choosing the variable like the experience of the human resource in that case who is working, and now the salary is decided. Like that, there will be other factors. Okay, the experience is one of the factors. Second could be the skills factor. Now the human resource having the graduation plus skills, or number of years of experience, number of number of skills could be the one of the factor. So there could be a number of factors. We have to see which are the most important factor which determine the salary of the human resource. Now this helps the organization to take the decision quickly. Machine learning or machine algorithms helping you to take the decision quickly now. So you train the machine learning algorithm, provide them the huge amount of data here, and then explore the data. Now you need to give the more data. You cannot say, okay, I will give the small data. More data you give it, better the prediction here. There are some factor. Remember, the first thing is the how much data you are giving as input. How much is the historical data available? What is the quality of data? What is the quantity of the data? What is the quality of data? If that data is having the great quality, having the great, and the quantity is great, the prediction, there is more chance of accuracy. So the accuracy depends on the quantity and the quality of data here. So you cannot compromise in the quality of the data, and you cannot compromise in a quantity also, because if you are given the only sample data, with a sample data you cannot ask the machines and say that you give the 100% accuracy. See, accuracy is a factor. Accuracy depends on various factors. It is not just particular one sort of variable will decide the prediction here. Accuracy, we are talking about the algorithm accuracy or the prediction we are talking about. So these all things are very, very important to understand in the machine learning. So you need to construct the model only based on the data set with what you are having. So you have to, explore the data now. Now, how do you explore the data? Again, you have option available. And what is that option available is to you need to see the data is of the pandas. There's a library called Panda library is there now. This Panda library will help you to read the data, will allow you to explore the data, will allow you to visualize the data like library like a matplotlib. So there you are checking the each and every variable allows you to check the type of variable you are having. So that is what we say explore the data. We see the correlation between the data, how the data or the variables are correlated to each other. This all thing we do it using the pandas or Python library which is available, you can say. So that comes as an explore data. Then you construct the model based on the type of data now. Now, if you observe the data is a continuous data, and your expectation is to calculate or predict, you can say, based on the continuous variable now. So continuous variable is which is helpful for the predicting some output, right? So predict the required output automatically based on the kind of input data. And then you can, this way you can save both time and money. So this is the way the machine learning works here. Okay, so the need is increasing day by day because the production, what we're expecting is like we want the production to be increased. We want quick decision. We want the problem to be solved, all the complex problem to be solved quickly, because now we cannot wait. Now machine, if you look at the industry doesn't have time. Previously we were having the time, but now I will say not a single industry is on time. If you say that, okay, I will solve the problem after 1 month because I have a less human resources available, I will solve the problem after 1 year, company will say I don't have time, or customer will say, if the see, there are two there. One thing is consumer doesn't have time. Consumer needs the solution quickly. You cannot say, you cannot procrastinate and say, okay, I will do that after some time. No. So there's no time. And that's why, and you need a production to be done quickly. If there's a demand, you should be ready. And the demand is fluctuating. The thing is like the demand is fluctuating, and you need to be so fast based on the demand that if the demand increase, I should be able to produce whatever the kind of items I would like to produce within a time period only. But then how I decide the production of certain items, because you require certain decision to be taken, right? So this production depends on certain calculation. Now you may have some historical data. You take the customer data, see like the history, like which particular month is required you require less production, which particular there's a, I mean, like a demand and supply. You can check it. You can ask the machine, or you can algorithm check like, okay, this is a time series problem. In this time, there's a, like in the month of, let's say, the March, you need a more production of the certain item. So company is ready well in advance to product certain items before the time itself, rather than asking the customer to wait. So this helps a business, I will say all the types of business to improve the sales, improve the marketing. Let me tell you, if you are a businessman, if you are the person who like to the business, you will require to take the support of either human resource, or you will require to take the support of machine. But let me tell you, those who are taking the support of both, they can do the business now. It is not just by the human resource you can do business now, and it is not just by the machine. There should be a combination of human resource and the machine. Then only you can grow in this particular market now. And that's why it is very important for us to learn the machine learning. I hope you are getting like how important is a machine learning. I'll be answering your question maybe after the session, because you can just share your queries in the chat box, and definitely I'll be answering your question. But let me finish the topic, and then definitely I will answer the questions to you. So I hope like you're getting like the need of machine learning. And this is very important thing, like there are so many companies already using the machine learning, and these companies growth, if you look at the kind of growth happened to this Google, growth happened to the Amazon, the growth happened to the Tesla, or take any company, why this company is growing so fast? Did you observe this growth? What is the reason this company is growing so fast? There are so many companies available, but then look at the company who are having the automation, and observe the company who are not having the automation now. Company having the automation, they are growing fast. The company not having the automation, they are growing slow, or I will say they're dying. So imagine whether, just think like you are in the business. Do you want to make a business dying, or do you want to make the business to survive? Now let me tell you, the machine learning has become so important. If you want your company to survive also, you will require to apply the machine learning technique now. You will require to do the smart work. You will require to do some intelligent work. You will require to help the customer more than what you are doing right now. Unless and until you help the customer, unless and until you support the customer, unless and until you understand the need of the customer, and say, as a human being, it is really challenging to understand each and every customer. But machine can understand the customer requirement. Machine can understand what is the expectation of the business, and then the machine can help. Now, Google is helping you in the case of, like as a user, just imagine how the Google is helping you. Google is helping you in the case of email. In the email, your email is is identified as a spam and not spam, important, not important, all this done automatically. Otherwise, every email user could have been, everyday job. Okay, this email is a junk email, this is a spam, this is a important, this could have been additional activity for the human to do it. Now this problem is identified the Google, and then they are, with the help of machine learning, obviously there's no human resource who is identifying your email is a spam email or junk email and all this thing. Based on the kind of input you are giving, based on the kind of behavior of the email type, the pattern and all that thing, the machine is doing automatically. This way your problem is solved to separate the junk email or the spam email or the important email. This is all happening automatically. Even Google is telling you, okay, you write dear and then the next word comes. You just type some few words, the next words come. So the grammar, it is helping you to check the grammar. It is helping you to write the next text. So predictive text or text analysis. And also it is checking your email pattern also, the kind of email pattern you do is, and helping you in advance. You look for the Google map every day. Wherever you're traveling, you look for the kind of congestion is there in the traffic, and you just check how is the traffic today. Whether I should, whether I should select the particular route or not. Again, you are deciding based on the Google map now. The Google map is also the example of machine learning. You are talking to your Google Assistant. You are using the Google photo. With the help of this Google photo, the face is recognized that this face belongs to which particular resource now. How do you decide now? This is all happening using with the help of machine learning. The face recognition, the email identification, the Google now you become your assistant now. Previously, we were looking for the assistant, and the human resource, or just imagine, can the normal business like the small scale person can afford the human resource assistant? You will say definitely not, right? So now you have a Google Assistant. If you want to book the ticket, just ask the Google Assistant, and ask them, okay, book the ticket. This is all happening now. You have solution available, and that to quick solution. Google search engine is the best example of machine learning here. Whatever search you are doing, you get the related search also. You just add some few keywords and you get the response here. So if you look at the kind of example which you look for in the machine learning, there are numerous examples available with a machine learning, or you can look at you can say artificial and see, yes, there are numerous examples available. YouTube, every day, you are using the YouTube right now, right? So when you talk about YouTube, how your video ranking is done, what is the factor? Which factor decide your video ranking? Is that the watch time? Is that the video length? So there is a machine learning algorithm which is checking your watch time, observing how long is a user watching your video, what is the video length, how many are the subscribers, the user interaction, is that someone is writing certain comment, is that someone is sharing your videos, and this all is observed. That is all taken as the input data, and the algorithm is telling, okay, that this particular video should come into the rank. Some of our GKTCS innovation video already came into the rank. We have been observing, and this is our experience that how YouTube is doing the machine learning. For example, our one of the video, Python for everyone, or you will see there are so many videos which are there, they are into the rank now. We have been observing that, yes, how the YouTube is doing now. YouTube is also based on the machine learning. Let me look the company, like whether it is all the company like the YouTube, you take it, Netflix, you take it, where the machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, these are the things which are helping this company to grow. Let me look, if all this company can grow, why not the small scale company? WhatsApp company, WhatsApp started with a small scale, right? Has grown like anything, become the global company. Every internet-based company, whoever is the internet-based company can become the scalable, can provide the support to the millions of user. It's just because of the machine learning. It's just because of the artificial intelligence, because this particular machine learning is helping you to solve the problem quickly, giving you some input data, giving you some prediction, giving you some business decision. All these are the factors. So machine learning is a base for that. I'm not saying that machine learning is everything. I'm saying that's the one of the thing. There are obviously there are other factors, like I just say, like, there are other things to work out, that is about the working on the deep learning, that comes as the next factor to do. So product recommendation, like Amazon, look at the kind of product recommendation is done. You just look for some product, and whichever the product you buy, let's say recently I purchased one MacBook on the this Amazon, and related to this MacBook, I have received several kind of options. Okay, this is this is a suitable cover for this MacBook. These are some other things, the recommended you can say the mouse for this particular MacBook. There's a recommended you can say a keyboard or something like. So like that, the Amazon is engaging or giving you certain recommendation. You just search for something, then some other laptop. Okay, we will recommend you some other laptop. We will recommend you some a specific kind of features laptop. So this all is happening automatically. There's no person, because if you go to the shop, just go to the what is actually the Amazon has understood that how the customer behavior is. Customer behavior, once you visit to showroom, customer would like to know each and every, would like to know, okay, if this is a laptop like MacBook ABC, okay, I would like to check how about the HP, how about the maybe you can look at the Lenovo, IBM ThinkPad, whatever you take it, you like to compare. And now Amazon is doing that only for you. Amazon recommendation system is giving you comparison sheet, giving you all the recommendation. But Amazon means who? Again, the machine learning. There's no person from Amazon is calling you and telling you about the product here, right? But then the machine is telling you this is the best product for you. This is something which you would like to recommend, and you are buying also. So this is the way the automation is happening in the business, and we can observe this automation in all the sectors, whether it is a automatic language translation, or whether it is a medical diagnosis, or stock market trading, or online fraud detection, or virtual personal assistant, or email spam and the malware filtering, self-driving cars, product recommendation, traffic prediction, speech recognition, image recognition, and many more things to do. So if you look at the surrounding, you are surrounded with several applications where the machine learning application you can see. You just need to observe and learn from it. And now, if the business is driven by this machine learning, the business is driven by the artificial intelligence, why not to learn then? Let me tell you, this is the thing which everyone should learn now. Everyone, all the students who are attending the session right now, all of you guys should know this as one of the essential skill now. Till now, I was not saying the machine learning or data science or artificial intelligence as an essential skill. But now when I started studying more about it, I came to know, if you guys don't learn these skills, if you're not learning this machine learning skill, if you're not learning the artificial intelligence, if you're not learning the essential skill like Python or data science, means you will not help the company. And if you're not helping the company to grow, you don't have any options, you don't have any job itself. Your future will be determined by your skills. Not only future, if you want to start your business, if you want to run your business, see, one thing is about the job, second thing is about your business. Even if you want to run the business, your own business, your entrepreneurship, if you want to do it, and if you do not have the skill of machine learning, and if you're not using machine, see, it is not just about the skill. Whatever the important is, like, are you using the skill now? Are you using the skill to solve the problem? And if you are able to use a machine learning, if you are using the algorithms to solve the problem, then only the business will grow. Do the smart work, don't do the hard work. If you really want to do smart work, learn. if you invest your time, 60 to 70% time, you should be, investing for learning, sharpening your, you can say saw. That's what you say. So you're sharpening your skill now. More you sharp your skill, better the output will come. So your output, what are the kind of performance? Output is your performance, the kind of the productivity you will add to the company. It is based on your skill set. Are you continuously sharpening your skills? If you are not, then you should. Okay, so learn this thing. I'm just trying to help you out to understand the skills here. The one of the skill which I'm talking about is right now machine learning, but I do have various other videos. Like you can look at the videos related to data science, videos related to you can say artificial intelligence, Python. I have a set of videos available on YouTube channel, that is GKTCS Innovations. Just visit the GKTCS Innovation channel. My team like Sanket is there. Maybe we'll share you the link where you'll get all my videos related to Python for data science, Python for machine learning, where I have explained about the algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, and I'll be adding many more algorithm in a short duration right now. So I have planned to have all the sessions for all the machine learning algorithm. This is like I'll be having the, I can say the series of machine learning algorithm where I'll be taking I already taken the linear regression, logistic regression, classification will be taken very soon. Classification related problem, I'll be taking example like a KNN. I'll be taking example of decision tree algorithms, then random forest algorithm. This algorithm, a lot of session I'll be taking for that, and then every time there'll be some hands-on session. There'll be like, we'll have example of decision tree algorithm. And you say, okay, this is the way the decision tree algorithm is used. What is a decision tree algorithm? The practical application will be taken in the session then. So yes, there are a series of workshops which are planned, which are into machine learning only. Let me know, machine learning is a very wide subject to learn. It's not a subject which you can learn in a 1 hour or 2 hour session. It takes a time. You have to invest at least a month time to learn the subject only. Practice will take another few years. I will say practicing, there's no limit. But then we talk about learning itself, to understand the algorithm, understand the different types of data set, understand the types of algorithm, the kind of logic, which type of algorithm to be used, whether I should be using the classification machine related algorithm, or whether I should be using the regression type of problems to be solved, or clustering type of problem, which type of algorithm I should be using. So here we need to understand the different types of machine learning: supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and the reinforcement learning. And each category, there are different types of problem to be solved. Whether you like to go for the fraud detection, you are in the banking industry, there you want the fraud detection to be done. So you go for the classification data problem. You would like to have some image classification to be done. You have the classification data problem. You have somewhere the healthcare industry, you want to diagnose certain health issue, classification data problem. Regression case, you want to forecast the weather. You want to predict something. So the value of the certain item, maybe the housing price, you want to predict the housing price, go for the regression. So we have a linear regression in this case. Or you want to determine whether someone can buy the car or not, classification related problem. So these are things comes under the machine learning algorithm. Somewhere you need to cluster, you need to have the target marketing. You need to, okay, which is my target segment, target marketing. There is a clustering problem. There's a recommendation system where you want to products like we say Amazon is using, or some Netflix is using, the recommendation system, clustering related problem. Okay, most of the people would like to see this particular product, recommendation. This is the most demanded product, recommendation. This is the most used product. This is the most viewed product. This is the most demanded product. This is all this recommendation. You have a clustering problem. You have a dimension reduction related problem. You have so much of variables available, so many variables available. You need to reduce the dimensions, select the best features which are determine the prediction. So all this comes under the machine learning here. And somewhere where you want to train the machine to solve your problem, maybe the game applications, you want to go for the reinforcement learning. You want machine to win, go for the reinforcement learning problem. So the kind of category you look at in the machine learning, you will see there is a supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, semi-supervised machine learning, reinforcement learning. And every type of, if you look at every category, whether it's supervised machine learning, you have a variable like continuous target variable. You have a categorical type of variable. The type of variable you can have, you have both category available in the supervised machine learning. Unsupervised machine variable, there's no target variable at all. There's no label data. That's unsupervised machine learning. Semi-supervised machine learning, you have a categorical target variable mostly. Reinforcement learning, you have both like categorical target variable and you may not have the target variable. Okay, so you may have both. So that's what the reinforcement learning kind of model you may look for. Like you may go for the problem related to regression problem, classification problem, clustering problem, association problem, and there are many more. Now, examples of this supervised machine learning is like housing price prediction. Which particular variable determine the house price? Which are the variable? Maybe the square root, the square feet area, maybe the location, maybe something else. So which are the particular variable determine the housing price? That comes into the regression. Medical imaging, you have images, you have cancer related species are there. Which image, like like now here in the healthcare industry, you want to identify that images, right? What this image indicate, whether there is a that particular specific type of images there or not. Go for the medical imaging classification related problem. So this is the way in all industry you will see there is a solution available in the machine learning now. Machine learning is something which is so important for the industry that here you just need to have data. Previously, we were having some problem with the data. We were not having the technology available. We were not having the, I mean, like if you look at the 30 years back, if you look at, although artificial intelligence was there, but the data was not there. That's why the AI did not, although AI AI came in the 1950 itself, but then the kind of implementation is happening. I will say this is the time where the implementation is happening. So in the history, if you look at it, if you look at history, we were having certain limitation, but now no limitation. Look at the kind of data we are producing every day. The Facebook, whether you take the Facebook, whether you take the Google, every you can say area, you will see the data is, we are producing the data, and we want to use the data now. We don't want to, the company don't want to waste the data. Company doesn't want you to waste the data. That's what the machine learning is now. So I have given you idea about the supervised machine learning, where you have a label data. You train the model, you predict the output. What we do in this case of label data, we are the model kind of like you have a linear regression model in this case. Now this model you are training with the help of training data now, and then the model process it, and then once the processing is done, you may test the model, check the accuracy of the model, whether the output whatever you are expecting is as per the prediction or not. Is that giving the expectation output or not? So what is the percentage of the accuracy it is giving? So all these things can be done in each model. And unsupervised, as we have said, like it is a clustering related problem. In this case, we don't have label data. Whereas in the reinforcement learning, as we discussed, it is related to feedback-based learning method, where learning agents gets reward for every right action and gets a penalty for every wrong action now. So like a robotic dog, you can say train with a right action, okay, left, you can say the movement of that robotic dog is all trained. These are the example of reinforcement learning. So anything which you see the robotic machine, they're mostly the reinforcement learning. So in this case, the agent learns automatically with the feedback. If you say this is the correct action, that feedback is taken as a positive feedback. And if this is something, the incorrect action will be taken as a negative feedback now. So reinforcement learning is something where, I just say example of robotic dog. In this case, agent interact with the environment and explore, means learning experience. That's what machine learning say. Learning from the experience, learning from the environment, getting that experience. That experience is a training data set then. The goal of an agent is to get the most reward. So something which you are giving as input. Second thing is it is learned from the environment also. Now the goal of this agent is to get the most reward point now. So you want that agent should take the maximum reward point, and then that way it improves the performance automatically. So this is what automatically learn, and the movement happens in the that particular dog example I said now. How is a machine learning life cycle? Now I have told you about, I just now given you the idea about what is machine learning, and the different types of machine learning. But then what is the process of machine learning? Step by step manner, I would like to give certain idea about it. So machine learning is a cyclic process, and we understand that cyclic process in a step by step manner. Number one, how do you start machine learning? It is not like you jump start on the model. No, it's not like that. First step is to gather the data. First step is to gather data. Now, you may have a data which is of the form of a supervised, you can say the data which is the form structured data. You may have unstructured data, but how to gather the data? You can have the questionnaire, online question. That's one of the way generally you do the data gathering, or you may have some data coming from the, you can say social media data. You may gather data from Excel sheet. You may gather data from the what are the transactions are happening every day and the record is you are maintaining. So there are various sources. You may have data available in the SQL format. You may data means the structure format. You may have data which is unstructured format. So you need to first gather. But then how do you gather data? What is that process? You do it. So you gather data based on the kind of the problem you are going to solve, the kind of questions you want to solve, the kind of question you want to answer, the kind of problem you want to solve. So there, the first thing comes as a gather data. Once the data is gathered, the next thing comes as a data preparation. The data preparation is something because the data you gather, you may have some data which is missing data. There's no guarantee of the data that whatever the data you gather is accurate data. There's no guarantee of data that whatever data you are having is having the complete data. Is that incomplete or complete data? And the type of data what you are using, is it as per your requirement or not? So that transformation you may require to do, the kind of cleaning of data you are do, where the process, like you go for the data wrangling. After that, you may go for data mungling, where you may have data transformation from one form to another form. You may require to do that part. Once data wrangling is done, you can analyze the data. You can see that, okay, which particular variable is we can consider as a target variable, and which particular variable you can consider as a input variable, or you can say independent variable and dependent variable. You need to identify, analyze the difference, the correlation between the data, that okay, this particular column or the feature, which is another name as a features, which features of that model or the data set are most important feature. You may require to find out that also. So you analyze the features. Then this feature is every feature or whichever the most important feature are there, you may analyze it now, and based on that you may create a training data set. With the help of that training data set, you can train the model. The model, I just now said that different types of model we discuss about. It includes the linear regression, logistic regression, and many more like that. Depending on the type of problem you are going to solve, you may select the model. Then you may require to test the model. Generally, we do the testing model, like we have a training data set also divided into two parts: testing data, testing data and the training data. And also we have a accuracy. You have some you can say the method available to check the accuracy of the data here. Then once you find the accuracy is like as per the expectation. Let's say you are expecting 80% accuracy, 90% accuracy, or whichever the model is giving more accuracy. Based on that parameters, like okay, some model is giving you 90% accuracy, someone is giving 85% accuracy, someone is giving the near to, let's say, 87% accuracy. You may select the model. Okay, the model which is giving 90% accuracy, that is the model you will be using for the deployment purpose. So this is the way the complete machine learning life cycle is. I have given you some insight about this machine learning based on the various factors which are there. So this is the process you have to follow. The gather the data is coming, and the important factor while gathering data is the quantity and the quality of the data. How much is the data you are gathering? What is the quality? What is the quantity of the data? All this matters a lot in this case. The next thing is, once the data is collected, you may find out the types of data here. You can explore the data. I have just now said about all this point, but then giving you more detailed information about that. The data preparation is a big process. You have to have the quality of the data. You have to understand the nature of the data, understand the characteristics of the data, see the correlation between the data. the general trends and the outliers. Do you have some outliers in the data? What is the type of data you are having? The categorical or numerical? Under the categorical, again, is it a nominal or ordinal? Is it an interval or ratio? Again, there are examples available for every categories. If it is related to data, which we say nominal data, what does the nominal data means here now? So when you talk about nominal data, is the data something like where you have the color of the car, let's say, is it a black color, is it a blue color or a white color? So this is like a categorical variable. Then you have data which is having some in the categorical itself some scale. You have a small scale, medium scale, or small medium scale, or large scale. Or you may have data which is having the interval type of data, which is a numerical data now. In this case, you may have calendar dates, temperature, all that come as a numerical data, but having some interval. Then you may have the another data that is a ratio data, which is like a numeric variable with a defined unit now. You know the defined unit, like the temperature is a defined unit, or quantity is the age, that's a defined unit. So these are the types of data generally you manage here. Data wrangling, in this case, you are cleaning the data. You select the variable to use, you decide, okay, which variable to be selected for the prediction purpose. You may go for the transforming the data in a proper format. In this case, you will look for the missing values, you look for the duplicate data, you check the data which is invalid data, is the data is having certain noise. You may require to filter the data, you may require to clean the data, all that comes under the data wrangling. The next thing which we talk about here is how do you do analysis now? So you have to take the data, use a machine learning algorithm, build a model, select the analytical technique now. You may go for the, because you have various options available. And based on the technique, you may build the models and review the result. Check which model is giving the more accuracy. So this gives the analysis. So as I say, there are various options available now. So you build a machine learning model to analyze the data, determine the type of problem, select the machine learning technique. Classification type of, you have different types. You have classification, regression, cluster, and many more. And you can build the model, use and prepare the data. Then evaluate the model. You can improve the performance of the model by giving the more data here. So like training the models, then use the data set to train the model in this case. Use a various machine learning algorithm and understand the various patterns and the rules and the features of that. Then you can test the model. You can determine the percentage of accuracy of the model as per the requirement of project or the problem. So here the important thing is checking the accuracy here. And if the model is producing accurate result as per our requirement, accept the model. So it should be like, that, okay, it is doing it in a high speed. It should not be like, the model is taking too much of time for prediction. And so you're checking the speed factor also, and you're checking the accuracy also. And then you can deploy the model. So this is the complete flow of machine learning. I have given you the example of what is machine learning and the flow of the machine learning here now. I hope you got the idea like what machine learning is, the different types of machine learning, and the machine learning life cycle. Now, if somebody wanted to know the machine learning models and all, that I can take as a session on the, maybe the next time I'll come up with the various models. Although I have already taken the session on linear regression, logistic regression, and these videos are already available. You can go for those videos where I have discussed about linear regression. So they are the example which I have already taken in the previous session also. I will recommend you to go for the example like linear regression, logistic regression, and all. And I'll be taking the many more machine learning model in a upcoming workshop now. So here I would like to check if any questions are there, that I will check it right now. And we do have something like the program for this particular machine learning for the artificial intelligence, and we have a create plan, and the GKTCS has planned. Let me do a very important plan which we have created. That is the artificial intelligence machine learning, a complete 1-year program. So we have that available for you guys. If you want me to tell you about that also I can tell you here. Here I'm available for the question. Let me know if you have any question.